I don't know if you could really see it. I'll try, but yeah, there you go. See the wet frames. It's in the top box. Nice and calm, no gloves. This one does. I have a friend in the bee yard today. This time of year, turkey season's starting to kick up, and this farm turkey here, domestic male, is spitting and strutting and showing his stuff. Silly birds. I keep telling myself that people don't need to watch you work bees on YouTube videos because there's about a gajillion billion beekeepers that record themselves working bees. But I also get requests from people to let them know how the bees are doing, to compare or contrast, I don't know, locally especially, how their bees are doing, which is nice, right? Because you can kind of make a plan. Because when it comes to beekeeping, it's always about what's your plan. And before the bees start ripping and running here in mid-April, approaching May, when things are going to get hairy, the best laid plans tend to precede the chaos, but we'll see. I'm going to take a look at some colonies today and do an inventory on the breeder queens from all of the assays from last season, see who's still hanging around and who's making grade, how many frames of brood and bees they have, if I could get a good look in there. It's only 55 degrees in southeast Michigan, so I'm not going to be ripping them apart and throwing frames all over the place, but I'm going to take a little bit of a closer look. Houston, I think we have a problem. Oh man. Look at all those bees. I guess it's safe to say they don't need any feed, especially if they're drawing comb like that. This is the fourth one that I've gone through, and so far they're all looking really good. One of them's a little weaker than I'd like, but they're on track. I'd say we're not close to swarming. There are drones walking around, lots of drone brood. There's still capped honey in these colonies. There's not a lot of nectar in the couple that I've gone through here, so it's been too cold for flying weather. I'm gonna take care of this comb real quick. Well, I've been through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colonies so far. Again, it's April, I believe 12th. Sounds right, April 12th. Southeast Michigan, Romulus, near the Detroit Metro Airport. The colonies are varied. There is no consistent buildup, obviously. Every colony is different, but they are definitely in the brooding and buildup phase. Some are much, much stronger than others. Some have plenty of stores. Even the smaller ones had a couple of frames of honey, but I'm not seeing any wet frames like I did a few weeks ago. This yard that I'm at now does have a sugar bush, so some of the maple syrup sap collection may have contributed to some of those wet frames, but everything else is pretty much on track for this time of year. Last year we were several weeks early. Again, just from the colonies that I've been through, I don't see anything that's ready to swarm just yet, but we are definitely going to explode once the weather warms up. And staying true to the way of James Lee's bees, I'm out here making a mess. Stuff laying everywhere. A couple of dead outs that I am harvesting the bones from and equalizing some of these frames for the bees, taking off the feeder shims. As you just saw, the shim on this colony over here was full of comb. Alright, so I'm going to get some new gloves and I'm going to tackle this sucker right here. And then I'll be done with this section, which is outside the fence, which will soon be fenced, and then start tackling that row down there. Actually, April 13th. No, 14th. I thought it was the 3rd. I don't know what day it was. I thought yesterday was the 12th. But today is actually April 14th because tomorrow my taxes that are not completed yet are due. It's 72 degrees today. How can you not work bees? So I'm going to go through the rest of the colonies that I got time to get through. I got my boy Ash here with me. Say hello, Asher. He's going to help me out. He'll probably just stand around and tell me what to do. But I'm going to move a queen from this yard and take her over to the yard that I need to finish today, Tommy's yard, where the turkey was, because they are queenless and there's no really rhyme or reason as to why they're queenless. Other than that she died over winter or I smashed her doing a previous inspection. But yeah, I'm gonna grab this nuke and then get out of Dodge and go back to sorting through those colonies. I just gave them a puff of smoke, but this whole entire shim was full of bees. And then look at all this capped drone brood. When they're doing that, you gotta watch out for the queen on their reflectix there or on the top or in the shim area. So I always check that before I shake it. This is a yellow queen. What is that? 2022, I think. 2023. Yeah, I think yellow was 2023, can't remember. She swarmed, actually caught the swarm, rehived it back into the same box. Gave them some space and they stayed. Hope she's still in here, that would be cool. Well, I didn't dig around too much for the queen. Don't want to risk it, it's too early in the season to be losing queens, but they had an entire box full of brood. Colonies seem to be on pace. They're building combs, so obviously they're bringing in some sort of nectar or forage that's going to allow them to do that, make that much brood and comb in the shim. Although they have a tendency to do that regardless of resources, in my experience. There's also fresh larvae and eggs and plenty of jelly in the cells with the hatched hatched larvae. So I'm not super worried about food because we got a few warm days this week. They should be able to get some resources, but they definitely need some. And I will come back with some honey frames when I can recruit some from a couple of dead outs. However, they are looking pretty good in that colony, and if that yellow queen is still present, I am going to breed from her because she is also a Harbo 4, meaning high expression of VSH. So not only longevity, but also resilience and winter survival, calm temperament, a lot of really great characteristics that should make for some good daughters. That's the colony that I just gave a queen via newspaper combine. No risk, no reward. We'll see what happens. Maybe there's a virgin in there, I don't know. But the queen I gave them had a green dot. So if they accept her, we'll know for sure whether it's her or not. What do you think, Asher? Are they going to kill that queen, or is there a queen in there, or will they take the one we gave them? Bruh. Waning hours here at the airport yard. Probably not going to finish getting through this one. However, I'm going to keep trying. All right, now that you can hear me, I am still going through colonies. Some of them require being condensed. Some of them require some space. All of them have mixed situations, brood, food, etc. So everything's kind of throwing a curveball. But all in all, we're still a few weeks out, like I felt initially when I started out looking at a couple of these colonies. Every area is different. Beekeeping is local, right? Or they say hyper local. So in my instance, some people are ready to start splitting and maybe ordering in queens here in Michigan, but that's not the case here in my portion of the state, and who knows what factors are contributing to that. But there is definitely some forage and wet frames and nectar coming in, but we're still a little bit ways out from splitting and grafting. I like how it's always much brighter when the sun goes down and you take your veil off. I have probably 23 colonies in this airport yard. I got through every one of them except 4 near the front. We'll save those for another day. All in all, it looks like in a few weeks we're going to be looking really great for splits. I don't really know what to think. I think I should have left more honey on some of these colonies. I think that some of the treated colonies look like some of the untreated colonies. I think that the breeder queens are a mixed bag. Some look great, some look iffy. However, the beauty of keeping records is that you know which ones you're going to use when you breed from them, and you have some sort of data to assess whether or not last season compares to this season, and just all kinds of other fun tools for the facts, if you will. I'm tired. I gotta clean up my mess per usual. As you can see here, there is stuff strewn about. All these colonies are pretty calm, gentle. I don't know if you could see if you look straight ahead. There's 4 more colonies near the front of the property here that I will get to later. And the rest of them on down the line. Are all set. I'm gonna pick up my mess, go home and eat a bag of popcorn. Okay, bye.